Oh, hey guys, this is Thor right here, and as you can tell by the shitty ass audio quality, I'm not using the good mic because Abe is the one that owns it, and it's at his house. Anyway, if you've read the video description of this video, which I don't know why you would, because no one watches these anyway, I lost the audio for this episode, so I'm gonna provide commentary solo on this one. Let's see. There's only 2 bosses left to kill, but that's not why you're here. I'm just gonna talk about Supernatural because who gives a shit about Mega Man X? Whatever. I was recently marathoning it over the weekend. Over like the last couple of weeks, and I just like finished seasons 5 and 6, and I really like season 5, the whole apocalypse thing, and Sam and Dean being the vessels, and then that was a really great ending to that series. I mean, this show just, as far as I'm concerned, season 5 is the finale, and then season 6 onward, that's like a parallel universe or something. That's like a what if, the rest of it is just fan fiction, and I just died. Wow, I really suck at this game. Anyway, let's talk about season 6 for a while, and why that's not as great as like season 5. Okay. If you've seen the end of season 5, then you know that, Sam ends up in the cage along with Adam and Michael and Lucifer. Was that the guy's name, Michael, or was it Gabriel? Whatever, Michael and Lucifer. And then apparently the last shot of season 5 is Dean eating dinner with Lisa and her kid at their house. Apparently he's just gonna live a normal life now that Sam's gone. But then they like zoom out, and Sam is watching them. And then you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? I thought it's been like not even 24 hours, and Sam is already back. Well, but as we later learn in season 6, it's only Sam's body that's been brought back. His soul was still in the cage, because at the end of season 5, Cass was killed, but then God brought him back to life. Oh, one thing about Cass dying, when he exploded, they confirmed this like 5 seasons later, but when Castiel exploded, his vessel, whose name is Jimmy, that guy died and his soul went to heaven. So God only brought back the body so Castiel could have a vessel. And it really sucks that that's not confirmed until like 5 seasons later. Because in season 4 we had a really good backstory on Castiel's vessel. We find out that that guy named Jimmy, he has a wife and a kid. And then at the end of that episode, Jimmy takes Castiel back into his body and shit. But anyway, about season 6, after Cass gets brought back to life with the vessel, he's like, oh, God made me more powerful. That's why he was able to bring Bobby back to life, and how he healed Dean so fast. And then I love how Dean is like, after he gets healed, he just stands up and he's like, Cass, are you God? He just says that with such childlike wonder. I love that line. It's hilarious, but Cass is like, no, Dean, I'm not God, but thank you for thinking that, which is all probably foreshadowing for season 7, but we'll get to that. Anyway, then they're driving in the Impala later, and then Castiel's like, I think I'm gonna go back to heaven and see what's up with that, cause we stopped the apocalypse and there's some people who are gonna be pretty pissed about that. So he fucks off, and then we later find out, God, what was it? Now that the apocalypse stopped happening, there's basically 2 angels, two factions of angels created. One's following Castiel because they were like, yeah, we didn't want the apocalypse either, so we're gonna follow your orders from now on. And then there's people following the other archangel or archangel, however you want to pronounce it. The archangel Raphael, and it's basically, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna become the new god and shit, and we're gonna get the apocalypse started again. And then so basically the whole season 6 is Castiel fighting against that, because obviously you don't want the apocalypse to happen. And one thing about season 6 is that there's usually always bullshit going on in the background of the seasons ever since angels were introduced. And we later learn in season 6 that Castiel teamed up with Crowley to kidnap alpha monsters, which are basically the first monsters ever created, like the first vampire, the first shapeshifter, the first etc. And they torture them because they want to find out the location of Purgatory, which is where, you know, the souls of monsters go when they die, or, you know, where unbaptized babies go. And they're gonna get those souls and they're gonna beat Raphael, because souls are basically nuclear reactors and shit. Oh, also when all that rioting in heaven was going on because there was no more God, no leaders, we find out that a bunch of holy weapons were stolen, like for example, Noah's staff. And this is like, I always thought this was an amazing concept that I was like, oh, okay, so that's what's gonna happen in season 6. Besides the getting the alpha monsters, we're gonna be tracking down all these holy weapons, like the staff of Moses, you know, the one that he used to do the 10 plagues. So they later find out that when they find the staff of Moses, they find out it's been cut into several pieces. And then there's this new angel called, God, what was his name? Was it Zechariah? Shit. So unprofessional. Now I need to look it up. God damn it. What episode do we find that out in? Okay, it's in the 3rd episode, the 3rd man. I just want to find out this guy's name. Whatever, this one new angel who's also working for Castiel, or with him or whatever. They find out he split the staff into several pieces and sold it to humans so they could get revenge on whoever. And he basically they say, yeah, you can have my soul, give me this weapon. But then at the end of that episode, they take the staff away from the kid. It was a kid who got it. And they give him his soul back and they get that. Okay, the angel's name was Balthazar. I really liked Balthazar. He was a cool guy. He dies at the end of the season, of course. You know, they always kill the character you love. But, yeah, I mean, in season 6, we only ever get to see, like, 3 holy weapons ever. Like, the Staff of Moses, and then another one in the same episode where the holy weapons are introduced. That was in, what was it? It was like a crystal that turns you into salt. I looked that up. That's like a thing that happened in the Bible. Somebody got turned into a pillar of salt for some reason. And then we get, like, a 3rd weapon, discovered in, like, like in like the last 5 or 6 episodes or something. There's like one more weapon and then that's it. I hate that. That's the problem with Supernatural. All the cool shit happens in the background. Like every time Castiel is like super busy trying to keep shit from going down, so every time they pray for Castiel to come and help, he's like, oh no, I can't, or he never shows up because he's busy doing heaven shit. And when he does show up and the fucking Winchesters, well, it's usually Dean, he's like, oh, about time, asshole, what were you doing? We need your help with this. And then Castiel's like, hey, I got my own shit to deal with, alright, you idiots? Oh man, I hate what a piece of shit Dean is in like season 6. Maybe it's because I'm a Sam type of guy. I think Sam's cooler. But Dean is such a piece of shit in season 6. He's all about like, oh, my brother. Well, we eventually find out that, well, Dean eventually finds out that Sam's body was brought back without his soul in it. That's why. And by the way, can I just say that I love Sam when he doesn't have a soul. He's such a badass. I mean, Sam is so cool. He fucks all the chicks and doesn't afraid of anything when he doesn't have a soul. I mean, this is one episode that opens with him, like, doing pull-ups and shit, and he's got his shirt off, and, you know, that shot was for the ladies, obviously. And then this girl's, like, in his bathroom, all dressed. And we find out, like, 30 seconds later that she's a prostitute. And then she's like, here's my card, call me on my day off. And then he's like, huh, I will. And then when she walks out of the hotel room, he just crumples the paper up and he throws it in the trash. Oh, Soulless Sam is such a dick. He's so great. I wish we have more episodes with him. Well, yeah, anyway, we find out that Castiel was the one that took him out of the cage. But even though God made him stronger, he didn't make him that much stronger. So he was only able to pull out Sam's body. And he was like, yeah, I think if I go back in there for her soul, I'm gonna get my shit pushed in super hard. So anyway, let me look at the episode list for this crap. What is it? Oh yeah, also Samuel gets brought back to life, which is Dean and Sam's grandpa. I mean, he's the guy who Sam is named after. Samuel, Sam, Sammy Davis, and a bunch of other no-name Winchesters. Well, they're not really, they're Winchesters. They're, God, what the fuck was their mom's last name before she got married to John and became a Winchester? Campbell Soup. So they brought a bunch of Campbells back to life but they have their souls got put in because they were in heaven or whatever. They weren't in the cage stuck with Lucifer. And anyway, we later find out that Crowley's making them capture the Alphas to find out where Purgatory and all that shit. And what else? God, season 6 it felt like a big step down from season 5. I mean, like this one episode, Live Free or Twi Hard, where Dean gets turned into a vampire, and it's pretty cool because he hears the alpha vampire send him a message. Oh, of course, obviously there's a cure. I mean, back at the end of the episode, he gets turned back into a human. So, but it only works if he doesn't drink any human blood. And oh man, oh yeah, the thing is that ever since Dean went back to his normal life with Lisa and that stupid kid whose name I forgot, even though I said it like 10 minutes ago, he's like, alright, I'm gonna try to live my normal life, call me when you need me, Sam. But you know, eventually he just fucks off and goes with Sam, and he's like avoiding Lisa's calls and shit. But in this episode where he gets turned into a vampire, he like, God, how fast are vampires? Because they're in like New York or some shit, and he shows up at their house in like an hour. He must have been running like at super speed. And then he does all that stupid mysterious vampire shit like, oh, I just came to say goodbye and I love you, so I can't be with you, Lisa. And then he like is walking out of her house, and then the kid shows up. He's like, Dean, what are you doing here? And then he's like, get the fuck out of my way, kid. Oh man, it's hilarious. And he just shoves the kid, and he's like, oh sorry, and then he just leaves. And oh man, that shit's so awful. I mean, near the end of the season, the demons kidnap Lisa and Ben. That was the kid's name. They kidnap Lisa and Ben, and they do rescue them, but Lisa gets injured, and then they go to the hospital. Then Castiel shows up, and he heals her. And then he's like, hey, I want you to do one more thing for me, man. And he erases their memories, like all his memories of Dean from Ben and Lisa. And this is so poorly handled. I mean, what about the doctors and like all those other people that knew Dean? Aren't they gonna be like, hey, where's that guy you used to bang? And I mean, it's just so many plot holes. Just because you erase their memories doesn't mean that the demons are gonna stop coming after them. I mean, now the demons are gonna come after them again, and they won't know why this time. This is so stupid. This is like in the Harry Potter movie. I forget which one. I think it was the one that was split into 2 parts, where Hermione erases her parents' memories of her. But it's like, okay, how does that help? The people aren't gonna, the bad guys aren't gonna give a shit that they don't remember you. They're still gonna go after your fucking parents. And what about your other family members? Did you erase their fucking memories too? Aren't they gonna be like, hey, where's your daughter? And they're gonna be like, who? And then, you know, the people are gonna be like, you know, your daughter, we have pictures with her. Like, we took these pictures when we were younger and shit. Oh, God. Oh, anyway, any episode centered around Castiel is really good, cause I know he's like a main guest star or whatever. Oh look, I finally got the fucking heart after like 30 minutes. Like that season 4 episode where we find out about his vessel Jimmy. That was a really good episode. And there's an episode in season 5. It's called shit, hurry up, damn it. Oh god, I need to talk about that episode too. It's like the 3rd last episode. Shit, come on, fucking wiki. It's called The Man Who Would Be King. It's where Castiel's basically telling this story to God, where he's like spying on the Winchesters, but he's invisible. And there's all this backstabbing, and Castiel is so gay for Dean, it's not even funny, man. God, just make Dean slash Castiel canon already, writers. You know you want to. Because they're not going to make Sam slash Dean canon, because that's just wrong. Back off, Tumblr, it's not going to happen. Dean slash Castiel is more likely. Because there's this one episode where they need Castiel. So they're like, Dean, you should just pray for him, because he always comes when you do it, when you fucking pray. And then he's like, oh, back off, guys, Castiel's not in my butt. And then, like, Castiel just teleports in behind him, and he's like, Cass, get out of my ass. That was just so hilarious. What a great episode. Oh, that's right, I need to talk about this one episode, The French Mistake. It's the one where Sam and Dean get sent to the parallel universe, the one where Supernatural is a television show. And that was a funny episode, don't get me wrong, but it was basically just filler. Because Sam and Dean were just used as bait by Zachariah. And then when they get back, and because Zachariah gave them a key, and he's like, oh, you gotta hide this, can't let the fucking bad guys get it. And then they get back, and then Castiel's there, and they're like, alright, what does this key open? And he's like, what? Oh, this is the key to nothing. And then they're like, what? Fuck you, Castiel. This was just a distraction. And then he's like, oh, we already got all the weapons. And then I was like, what? But we've only seen like 3 of them on screen. What the hell? All the cool shit happened in the background. God, it's so terrible. Oh, also dragons are introduced in this season. And of course they have human form because... Shut up. And of course they can only be hurt by some Deus Ex Machina weapon. A sword made out of dragon scales or blood of a dragon or some shit like that. And of course only one of those exists in the entire world. Of course. Man, I think they just handled dragons very poorly. Cause they're only in season 6 and then they like never show up ever again. Or they're never mentioned again or some shit like that. Oh. What else is there? And then there were none. Oh yeah, Rufus dies this season, that one hunter who's friends with Bobby. That kinda sucked. God, he was such a good character. Oh yeah, the other plot of this season is that the mother of all monsters is revived from purgatory. Her name is Eve. Okay. So basically she's the one where all monsters spawned from. Vampires, skinwalkers, werewolves, all that good shit. And then the only way to kill her is by what is it? Stabbing. It's with the ash of a phoenix. Of course phoenixes exist. Why wouldn't they? They have to go back in time to kill a phoenix because hey, time travel episode. That episode was pretty funny where Dean is just so happy to like go back to like cowboy times. Basically it's like 1820 something, and then he's like, wait, I gotta, and then he goes out shopping and he buys like quote unquote cowboy clothes, and then when he like wears a poncho, and then when he gets there all the fucking past people are like, hey, nice blanket, and this shit and you can just tell the look on Jensen Ackles' face. He is so hurt by that comment, he just rips off his poncho and just never puts it on again. God. That episode also has a really good line where they're gonna round up a posse to like go look for some guy, and then Dean's like, all right, I'm gonna go get some posse. I love posse. I'm a posse magnet. I'm gonna put that on his shirt. God, that shit was so funny, bro. Oh, what's happening in this fucking Mega Man video I'm supposed to be talking about? Oh, we beat some bosses. Dr. Kane's like, go fight the shut up. Get out of here and go kill stuffs. I was talking about Supernatural. Oh, what else is a good episode? Oh yeah, like the last 2 episodes when they aired on the CW, they just said fuck it and just aired both of those episodes back to back. That was really great. Oh man, I'm like running out of time and I never got to talk about it in this video. Sam does get his soul back, like, what, like 8 episodes in or some shit? Let me check real quick. Real fast. Caged Heat. Oh yeah. In like the 11th episode, he gets his soul back. Man, this is a terrible episode too. Appointment in Samara, where Dean has to be Death, and then he fails at it. He has to be Death for 24 hours, and then he whines and moans about it to Death, like, "Oh man, fuck you, get out of here. I failed your little test." And then Death goes to hell to get Sam's soul back anyway because shut up, they're the main characters. And then oh no, I'm running out of time. Shit. Maybe I'll finish talking about season 6 someday. Anyway, the next episode didn't get the audio loss, so look forward to that. See you guys on the next episode.